a geriatric mother. The family claims and states that Meghan had a hysterectomy. How can a woman with a hysterectomy be pregnant? And most of all, why did the royal family go along with this? And what's going to happen now that this has come out? This is a punishable crime. This is fraud in the highest levels.
Let's be honest, if Meghan Markle's royal birth story were a movie, it wouldn't be a royal drama. It'd be a comedy with a gold-plated stroller. The timing? Suspicious. The details? Confusing. But honey, this is one story you can't skip. Picture this. Candles flickering, Prince Harry giggling like a teenager who's had one too many shots of laughing gas, and Meghan calmly giving birth as if she's at a spa retreat instead of a hospital. It sounds cozy and heartwarming, doesn't it?
Is extremely odd, and the story is somewhat confusing, but I think we have to cover that.
Except nothing about it makes sense. Not medically, not logically, and certainly not royally. You see, Meghan has always been the queen of storytelling, spinning her reality like a perfectly scripted Netflix series. Every time the truth corners her, the story magically changes. First, it's about privacy. Then it's about racism. Then, suddenly, it's the press that got it wrong. But if you look closely, the biggest hole in this fairy tale isn't in the media, it's in her own timeline. You won't believe this one. 2 epidurals, a Nando's chicken run, and home within 2 hours?
You would have to do a way deeper dive on that and see if there's more footage and pictures that are available, but you would anticipate.
Girl, even Amazon Prime can't deliver that fast. This isn't just about a royal birth anymore, it's about how far someone will go to build a flawless illusion. When you turn the monarchy into a movie set, don't be shocked when the audience realizes they've been watching fiction all along. Now stay with me, because what Meghan said happened that night could be the biggest royal rewrite of the century. In his memoir Spare, Prince Harry paints Meghan's labor like a dream sequence, calm music, flickering candles, soft light glowing around her.
Did you do that? That's not necessary.
Silence everybody and just produce a DNA sample or proof of delivery.
It's like she's playing a human being, like it's a performance.
Bathed in warm light, while Harry made jokes and accidentally inhaled her entire tank of laughing gas. And, as if this were a casual movie night, he stepped out for a box of Nando's chicken and came back just in time to welcome baby Archie. A sweet picture, sure, but one that feels more like PR magic than real life. The story reads like a fantasy, carefully crafted for sympathy and headlines. Meghan's image in it, calm, glowing, effortless, the perfect royal mother. But real royal births aren't spa scenes. They're serious, procedural.
Can I tell you the story because it's amazing? Stop everything. You're not going to believe me because it is a never-ending saga, a never-ending strange tale. People were not paying attention to other smaller stories.
Medical events tightly supervised and documented to the last detail. Harry's version, no royal doctors, no staff confirmations, no palace chaos. Just candles, laughter, and chicken takeout. Even hospital staff later raised eyebrows. None of it adds up. And that's where things start to unravel. Then a shocking twist. A doctor allegedly comes forward claiming Meghan was never pregnant. According to her, Meghan's children weren't biologically hers and she was, quote, owned by a pharmaceutical company. Absurd? Maybe. But when every detail of the story sounds too flawless to be true, people start asking questions. Because let's be real, once you strip away the glamour, what's left starts to look more like a royal performance than a royal birth.
But camera fixate it, and then both of you start twerking. Because in her mind, she was thinking, I'm going to release this later in a Netflix doc, or release it later to show people how relatable I am. Otherwise, you can have a cute moment with your husband without recording it. Like, why would you record this for any reason? Why would you record?
And this so-called 2-hour miracle turnaround? That's where the illusion collapses completely. Doctors around the world said flat out impossible. No hospital, not even a private one, lets a woman with a high-risk, late-age pregnancy and 2 epidurals walk out in under 2 hours. They'd have to deliver the baby, check her vitals, monitor for nerve damage, file paperwork, and coordinate royal security, all before she magically drove an hour back to Frogmore Cottage. Please. The math doesn't even try to make sense. Let's break it down. Just the drive alone takes nearly an hour. That leaves barely 60 minutes for epidurals, recovery, baby checks, discharge, and security escort through London. It's not just unrealistic, it's physically impossible. Doctors say post-epidural monitoring alone takes at least 4 to 6 hours. Yet somehow, Meghan managed to pack, pose, and head home in record-breaking time.
Here, the doctor talks about both the children. And listen to what she says.
So you tell me to tell you something that maybe a dozen people actually know that's going to come out very soon. Okay. Meghan Markle, the reason why you watch her interviews and she just seems off. She's owned by a pharmaceutical company. The 2 children that she had, they're not hers. She didn't have them with Harry. And how her and Harry met is that she's a
Even regular patients can't pull that off, let alone a duchess surrounded by security and staff. There were no witness statements, no staff confirmations, no motorcade, nothing. Just Harry's whimsical account of a secret royal getaway, like they were sneaking out of a hotel instead of a hospital. Viewers started calling foul. This wasn't just a medical mystery, it was a timeline disaster. Because if none of this fits medical or royal protocol, what are we really being sold here? It's the kind of mystery that turns whispers into wildfire. Now let's talk about the medical part, the one that had actual professionals shaking their heads. In Spare, Harry claimed Meghan received 2 epidurals. 2! Doctors were stunned. You don't get a second epidural, it's not a refillable latte. An epidural is a spinal catheter. If more medication is needed, it's adjusted through the same line, not replaced. The idea of doing it twice in one active labor is nearly unheard of. Yet, Harry described it like it was all part of a cozy day spa routine. And the laughing gas? Hospitals don't just let partners grab tanks and go wild. That's a regulated medical, gas-locked, logged, and controlled. But somehow Harry inhaled the whole thing without anyone noticing? Impossible. Even the lighting candles in a delivery room for a high-risk patient aged 37? Hospitals require sterile, bright conditions. Candles are a safety hazard. Every little detail of that night bends medical logic, and the more you look, the faker it feels. Then there's Portland Hospital itself, London's luxury maternity hub. Velvet hallways, 5-star chefs, celebrity clientele. But one thing it's not known for? Chaos. Every step, every movement is recorded and monitored. No one slips out unnoticed, especially not royalty. Insiders say there's simply no way Meghan could have left that fast. Security clearance alone takes hours. Pediatric checks, blood pressure monitoring, discharge paperwork, it's all logged. The idea that she quietly waltzed out of Portland like a royal ninja is laughable. Even the Harry's Nando's run detail collapses, the hospital has 24-hour chefs. He didn't need to leave for fast food. It's all cinematic fluff. Which brings us to the next explosive claim. A doctor allegedly confirmed that Meghan was never pregnant and never gave birth at all. Royal births are tradition-bound. When Diana gave birth, cameras waited outside. When Kate delivered, the world knew instantly. But when it came to Meghan, total blackout. No announcement before, no photo on the steps, no immediate statement from the palace. In fact, the official announcement came after Archie was supposedly already born. Even royal reporters said it felt off, weird, even disrespectful to the Queen. Why all the secrecy if everything was normal? And then Meghan's reasons began to shift. First it was privacy, then racism, then media intrusion. But none of that explained the missing details or the broken protocol. To the public, it felt like something big was being hidden, and the silence only made the whispers louder. By then, Meghan was 37, medically classified as a geriatric pregnancy. Later, she even mentioned preeclampsia, a dangerous condition requiring constant monitoring and extended hospital stays. Yet, magically, she was back home and picture perfect within hours, glowing in front of cameras at Windsor Castle. No swelling, no exhaustion, nothing. Doctors said that's simply not how recovery works. Even mild preeclampsia requires 24-48 hours of observation. But somehow, Meghan was radiant and camera-ready in less than a day. To critics, it looked staged. Every photo, every pose felt curated. Candace Owens pointed out how every detail of Meghan's story seemed designed for image: the calm labor, the twerking to induce labor story, the perfectly timed public debut. It was less about authenticity and more about controlling the narrative. And then, the paperwork drama hit. First, there was confusion over who actually delivered Archie. One name appeared on reports, Dr. Penelope Law, but was later removed without explanation. Royal birth documents are supposed to be flawless, yet this one quietly changed. Then came the name issue. Meghan's name on Archie's birth certificate was suddenly altered from Rachel Meghan, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, to just Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. The palace called it a clerical correction. Critics called it suspicious. No royal mother had ever altered a document post-registration. And when royal history starts rewriting itself, that's when conspiracy becomes conversation. Whispers reignited rumors of surrogacy, even claims Meghan had a hysterectomy before meeting Harry. Nothing confirmed, but everything whispered louder than ever, because every coincidence, every revision, every erased name made the fairy tale crack a little more. When you lay it all out, the impossible timeline, the medical contradictions, the erased records, the vanished doctors, it doesn't look like a royal birth anymore. It looks like a script written for sympathy, filmed for PR, edited for perfection. Even Candace Owens, while not claiming absolute proof, said too many puzzle pieces just don't fit. And now, rumors swirl that the palace is conducting a quiet internal review into Archie and Lilibet's birth records. If that's true, it could shake the royal image to its core. Because once the truth comes out, whatever it is, this won't just be a royal scandal. It'll be royal history rewritten. The fairy tale of Meghan Markle, the modern duchess who did everything differently, may end up being the biggest illusion of all. And the palace? Oh, they're not saying a word, which, in royal terms, says everything. But the strangest part? The palace's silence isn't just quiet, it's calculated. Every time Meghan's name trends with new rumors, the royal PR machine goes into slow motion. No denials, no clarifications, just an eerie hush. And that silence has power. It keeps people guessing, arguing, dividing. It keeps Meghan in the headlines even when the facts stay buried. Insiders whisper that senior aides are terrified of what might surface if anyone digs too deep into those hospital records. One wrong leak, one misplaced document, and the fairy tale could collapse in front of millions. Because if the timelines don't match and the medical logs don't align, the questions won't stop at Meghan, they'll hit the monarchy itself. Even royal staffers who once adored her have quietly admitted that something about that day didn't feel right. The hospital staff signed strict NDAs and nobody talks. No one saw Meghan enter, no nurse ever confirmed her discharge. Just a handful of photos, a perfectly rehearsed narrative, and the world expected to believe every word. But people remember how Diana's births were open, public, and proud. Kate's too. The tradition was built on transparency, on letting the nation witness history. Meghan, instead, turned it into a secret operation. And the irony? The woman who claimed she wanted privacy became the center of the loudest mystery of the decade. Candace Owens didn't create the story, she amplified what everyone already felt in their gut. The inconsistencies, the convenient lighting, the spotless post-birth photos, it all reeked of something staged. Maybe it wasn't malice, maybe it was image control, but either way, the truth got lost beneath layers of PR gloss. Even now, years later, every appearance of Archie and Lilibet sparks debates online. People analyze baby photos, compared timelines, trace dates on certificates. It's obsessive, but that's what happens when a fairy tale is built on fog. And yet, maybe that's the brilliance of Meghan's game. Because love her or loathe her, she remains unforgettable. Every rumor keeps her relevant. Every scandal fuels her story. She wanted control of her narrative, and somehow, even amid doubt, she got it. Still, one thing is certain. When truth finally knocks, no palace wall, no PR shield, and no candlelit story will be able to dim the light that exposes what really happened that night.